Guys, can you hear me? Holy fucking shit. So much bullshit. If anyone's out there, let me know. Never done this on YouTube before. Awesome Monday. Hello, hello. 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 Just all right, guys. Fuck. That's all I can say right now. So. We're on YouTube today. Long story short, they changed something on the live stream ability for Facebook, and it was not letting me stream with the program that I use to stream. And of course, I waited the last minute to find that out. So I've just been sitting here in my damn boxers waiting. So, Brandon is about to be ready. He's on his way back from somewhere to his house, and there's a dead spot in the place he lives. So he's just going to run up. And then we can start the show finally. Hopefully. If anyone's watching, try to say something in the chat. And I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited to have him on. There's so many questions. I've talked to him on occasions. And unfortunately, I couldn't ask the questions that I wanted to, because then it would just take away questions from the show. And I don't want to know the answers. I want to experience it like you guys. Well, while we're sitting here, let's putz for a bit. Let's just putz, and maybe we can get it on Facebook. That'd be ideal. Uh-oh. Brandon's ready. Alright, what am I closing now? Alright. Leave. Fucking Facebook. We are ready to roll, Brandon. I figured it out. Everything is rocking. I just needed to do some. I don't know what I did, but it worked. So we're live. We are live now. Brandon, finally, welcome to Musky Talk Mondays. So happy you're here. So there's a lot of stuff that I definitely want to go over, and we're already kind of running late, but that's okay. We'll get through it. So first off, I am very ignorant to musky fishing in the east and in the west. So how did you kind of? Oh boy, I wasn't even. Whatever, that's fine. So how did you come about, like, musky fishing out in West Virginia?
I get the first time I ever went, I just went with a local guy here. I knew that caught him pretty regular, and he took me out a few times. That was probably in like roughly 2003, so 14 years ago. That's when I got my first muskie, and then I kind of got out of it for a little bit, and then probably around 2007, I got back into it pretty heavy.
Okay.
And then, as most people, it just kind of consumes all other fishing that you used to do, and a muskie becomes the only fish on the planet.
It's true. It is true. Now,
I used to be in the trout and smallmouth some, and
no,
I haven't done either one of those things in 3 or 4 years.
Really? That surprises me.
Yep.
But not really. It's musky fishing. I got weak wrists, so I have to take breaks. So out west, they're not native out there. They were never native out there, correct?
Out east, right?
Yeah, out east. I'm sorry.
Close enough. No, they're not. They were first brought into West Virginia in 1958.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just learned that tidbit of info a couple months ago. A local biologist here sent me a couple articles that were really interesting reads, and I just happen to remember that 1958 was the first time they stocked West Virginia waters. But now we have pretty good natural reproduction going in a lot of our rivers. The muskie populations to grow, and the fishing gets better, and more people are getting into it.
Is it still kind of an I don't want to say unknown species of fish, but it's not. Is it as big out there as Minnesota, Wisconsin? Is it up and coming?
No, definitely not even close. I mean, you guys have a lot better fishery out west and a lot more places to fish. And I think, I've seen some, I don't know how far back muskies go in the west, but I see a lot of black and white photos, and much further than 58, I assume, out west. And I think just if you broke down like our sales, where we ship most of our gear, hands down, Wisconsin, you named it, Wisconsin and Minnesota, that's our top two states. I think that speaks for itself a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Have you witnessed you said you've been fishing since early 2000s. Have you witnessed like more and more musky fisherman presence on some of the rivers that you fish for muskies out there?
Oh yeah, big time. Especially like seems like it's really caught on in the last 2 to 4 years. Like it's just really blossomed. And I think social media is probably definitely something that's helped drive that. 10, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, I guess you weren't on Facebook or Instagram every night, photos from all over. And I think now a lot of guys that are fishermen, maybe they're not musky fishermen, but they see the pictures and they think, man, I'd like to give that a go. And, I mean, I've had a lot of people ask me to take them for their first time, and I have, you know, but a lot of people don't want to go back.
That's too funny.
They see the photos, see all the pictures I post, nice fish. They don't see the 10, 15, maybe even 20 or 30 hours of casting in between fish.
Mm-hmm. They just see the prize at the end, and that's it. Not all the hard work and BS you got to put up with.
Yeah, not many people are cut out to cast all day and not catch anything, you know.
No, it's a sport of its own. So, with you getting introduced in musky fishing, and you know, kind of taking a break, diving back into it, what was the figure eight like musky gear idea floated in your head that far back, or was there something that, you know, snapped and you're like, all right, I want to do this?
No, not even close to that far back. I guess the idea snapped into my head. I'm gonna get this straight. We just celebrated 2 years. We launched our brand in June of. I say we launched. We sold our first piece of the gear in June of 15. So probably somewhere around November is when I started the business. November 14. I kind of got the ball rolling with just the business plan and our model. But I guess the idea came sometime in 2014.
And then how did you come up with that idea?
Well, originally I was kind of leaning towards, I knew I wanted to do something in the musky industry, and I was pretty much had my mind made up on trying to get a bait company going.
Mm-hmm.
And just the more I was trying to decide what I wanted to do to set myself apart, and, you know, there's only so many things you can do to change a musky lure.
Yeah.
And the more I thought about it, I just kind of started to gravitate away from that. And one night I actually came in from a trip out on the river, and me and my buddy were talking, and I said, I think we're going to get online tonight and try to just find some, you know, clothing, some gear that's tailored towards musky guys. And when I got home that evening, I got online and kind of Googled and looked around, and, you know, I've seen one or two things, but there wasn't much out there, and that's when the idea kind of sparked, like, all right, I think this is the route I want to go. There's not much out there, and I think this will be the better route. And that's when I started brainstorming on ideas with a name and a logo, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
That's cool. So you just, you know, you found something, you know, you wanted to be into this community somehow, some way, and you found a niche.
Yeah.
And you know, went with it, and look at you now. I mean, teaming up with Cabela's for a tournament, you know, in 2 years. I mean, congrats on that, man. That's awesome.
It really is awesome. Just really couldn't be happier, and just humbled and honored by all the success we've had, and can't thank, you know, all of our customers enough. I mean, at the end of the day, without everybody getting behind our brand and our gear, and none of this would have happened. So I just thank everybody out there that's ever purchased anything from a hat to a shirt, or even just slapping a decal on your boat. It all just helps snowball, and it just keeps rolling faster and faster. And Amber and I are both really thankful for that.
Now, speaking of the tournament, how, again, same question, how did that idea pop in your head? And what was the reasoning behind that? Was that for just more exposure to figure eight, or is that bringing Cabela's muskie exposure, or bringing just muskies in general exposure out east?
You kind of touched on more the later two things you said. Not so much exposure for us. I mean, I feel like we've done a good job getting our name out there, already playing the expos, and we've got a really good social media following. I really just want to do it more for our home state, for West Virginia, to have, a really cool event. And I see muskie fishing growing here, and I just thought it would be good for everybody, for figure eight, for Cabela's, for the muskie community in West Virginia. It would help obviously generate, nothing major, but it's going to help generate some revenue for the local economy. Not much, but, people are going to be buying gas and a few hotel rooms and shopping at Cabela's, and really just for all the local West Virginia muskie nuts to get together, have a good time, and at the end of the day, that's what I hope happens. If everybody comes out, fishes hard, has fun. You've probably seen on Facebook we're roasting an entire hog at the banquet, which is going to be awesome. I think everybody likes to eat, so that part should at least be a success.
Oh yeah.
Just a lot in general, and I thought, I'm gonna see if I can get this ball rolling, and started planning way back. I guess I first started planning the tournament around May, and then I think we announced it in around mid-June. I mean, I started reaching out to, other companies in the industry, a lot of whom I've been lucky enough to meet and get to know over the last couple of years at all the shows. I'd say it was overwhelming, the response we got. I mean, everybody that I reached out to in the muskie industry jumped right on board, and it's been awesome. We're looking forward to it. 3 weeks, a little less than 3 weeks now.
How many?
September 3rd.
How much? September what?
30th. Saturday, September 30th is the big day.
Okay. How many boats are registered as of right now, or people?
Right at 40, I believe. So it's pretty good. I mean, I was really, and I think we still might, but like 50 was kind of like the high goal. That was kind of what I was shooting for.
Okay. But still, not bad. I mean, no offense, not a musky state. I mean, you have your local anglers, which, like you said, you don't have as many out here, and, getting people to travel that far to come fishing, I still think that's an awesome turnout for the first one.
Yeah, it is. I'm really pleased with it. I think there'll be a few more boats sign up. A lot of people just do things last minute, including myself. Amber and I fished a tournament over in Virginia. It's Jesse Carper Memorial Tournament back in May. I signed up like 4 days before the tournament. And then the Eric Workman Tournament, that's definitely the biggest muskie tournament going right now in West Virginia.
Okay.
Now, I signed up for it a week before it. I was supposed to fish. So a lot of people, I think, just put it off, not necessarily intentional, but everybody's busy, and it wouldn't surprise me if we end up hitting that 50 mark. I think we need about 10 boats.
Okay. So, guys, if you are still interested, September 30th, they still got some room, and sign up. Go out there. With
on our website.
Yep.
That's where you can sign up at figure8muskiegear.com.
I lost my train of thought right there, but oh well. Do you plan on having these annually, depending on how this turnout goes, or what's the long-term plan for the Musky in the Mountains tournament?
Yeah, definitely annual. I really hope to grow it. I'd like to see 3-4 years down the road. If it grows like I hope, we may pull from a further radius.
Mm-hmm.
We've got West Virginia and Virginia guys signed up this year. I think maybe a couple from Ohio. I did have some people reach out to me from Wisconsin, from Illinois, and I don't think it panned out for any of those guys. But if we can grow this to a bigger number of boats and really get the payout up there, I think we could draw a lot of guys from out of state.
No, I know Ryan. I think Ryan Zilka from Dirty Hookers Tackle was looking for a partner to head on out there with. Did you ever find anyone?
Yeah. Ryan was going to come out, and I forget the details. We were talking there on Facebook, and he was all in, and I believe it was something with his work schedule. I don't think it was, he changed his mind on coming.
Damn.
I just don't think it worked his vacation schedule, if I remember correctly. But he's still sponsoring a tournament and donating one of his killer bucktails that he ties up. And next year, I think he said he's going to try to make it down for sure. And several other people told me that too.
Oh, okay.
From out of Yeah, Ryan would have definitely won the most miles traveled award.
Yeah, I was thinking about coming out there with them, but I can't do that ride. I can't do that. I can't do that long of a car ride.
That's a haul.
That is
a haul.
Yeah, my maximum's like 6 hours, and it's like I'm done. No way.
I am with you. Further than that,
No, you're breaking up, Brandon. Did we lose?
Oh, sorry.
No, all right.
That's better.
A little bit, still choppy.
That ain't better?
Yes, that's good.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, 6 hours.
Sorry, sometimes. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, 6 hours that's it. No more.
Yeah, nope, I'm with you. Yeah. That we do the Chicago Musky Expo, and that drive to Chicago wears me out. That's a long one.
So what expos are you doing this year?
I think we're pretty much locked in the same schedule, which is Chicago. That'll be the first one we do, first week of January. And then we'll do Kentucky, Musky Fest, there in Moorhead, Ohio, Musky Show in Columbus, and then we also do a show here in West Virginia, the Elk River Musky Club.
Mm-hmm.
We'll hit those guys up, and then we'll wrap it up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at Musky Max.
Okay.
I would recommend, I know a lot of people always want to get out to shows, and I mean there's not a bad show. Whichever one's closest to you, I always tell people if you can make it, you should definitely come with a fat load of cash and come on out, because you will spend every dollar you bring. That's for sure.
It's true. I brought my buddy last year to his first expo, and he had to go to the ATM a couple times for that one.
Oh, I mean, you can't stop. You can't.
No, you can't. So Chicago's as far west as you're going this year?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's such a long drive for us, and
I understand.
we've looked at doing Milwaukee, and I would love to, but
that's another.
And that time of year, yeah, it's another 2 hours, and the roads get, we're in West Virginia, we get a lot of snow. It obviously snows a lot towards Chicago and Milwaukee. It can be a really just long and dangerous drive. Last year we hit a terrible storm in Indiana. It just wasn't any fun.
No, I think there was a snowstorm on our way, on everyone's way back home from the Milwaukee Expo. But no, not a fan of driving in snow for long times. But so guys, Wisconsin, Minnesota guys, if you want to come check out Brandon, he'll be at the Chicago show. I do believe I have plans on visiting that show as a guest this year, so I will definitely make a stop by your booth.
Yeah, man, swing by.
And get a hat.
Sure.
I need a hat. I have absolutely no F8 apparel. I'm sorry. The only hats I have are free
That
hats that like I've traded a bait for or something like that. But I need some F8 gear for sure.
We can get you fixed up.
Cool.
Come by, Amber, and take care of it.
Perfect. So with the whole Cabela's thing, with them sponsoring your tournament or hosting it, I should say, is there anything else going on with those, with that like partnership there?
That there is, and that's that's something we're trying to work out something with Cabela's.
Okay.
I'm not going to say too much on it because I don't know for sure that's going to happen. But and A, try not to get my hopes up, and B, just see where it goes. But they were nice enough to sponsor the tournament, and they're giving all the anglers that are entered into the tournament. We're having the banquet at Cabela's. I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Anybody that's in the tournament that evening, they can shop in the entire store with an employee discount, which is pretty awesome.
How much is
you
that
get
discount?
employee for? It's a little different how they do it. It's not just a flat discount. It varies on product. Something high end, obviously, like maybe a gun or a bow, it's going to be like 10%. But a lot of like clothing and smaller items, fishing lures and reels, that could be like 20-25% off.
Oh, that ain't bad at all.
It just no, it's a pretty good deal.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean the ultimate goal, I guess, is to see figure eight hanging in Cabela's one day.
Of course. I mean, that would be incredible. And I mean, I hope that comes to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. There's a lot of musky guys, in the industry that are at these expos that are in Cabela's. Chaos there. You see Medusas hanging everywhere. Musky Mayhem, those guys are in Cabela's.
Booker, yep.
I'm probably a couple more, but yeah, Booker. Those are a few that come to mind that I see hanging in there, and it's not out of the question.
No, it's not. It's not whatsoever. It's not unheard of to see a musky company go into one of the big box stores. Now, I usually ask like bait makers if they have any like Black Ops baits that they make. I can't exactly ask you that because you don't make baits, but you make clothes. You have any Black Ops products coming that we should be expecting or might be able to get a glimpse at the shows this year?
You said Black Ops?
Yeah, like secret stuff.
Not really. I mean, we're always working on new designs and new pieces of gear, but nothing that I can really say is way off the grid of what we normally do. Like right now with fall coming up, we're working on some new hoodies and the beanies, toques. I don't know what you guys call them out your way. Toboggans.
Yeah.
They have so many different names all over the country.
Those winter hats. We can just call them winter hats.
Winter hats. Yeah. I had a Canadian guy right when I was getting going. He asked me if we carried a toque.
A toque?
And I guess I'm saying, yeah, toques, right?
Okay.
And I guess call it your winter hat.
Oh, that's a first.
Yep, I had no idea what he was talking about. I think it's O-Q-U-E. I believe I spelled that right.
Can you spell that again real quick?
T-O-Q-U-E. I think that's it. If you Google it, I think it'll pull right up.
I've never heard of that one before.
Man, that was a new one on me. I even put it on our website. Beanies and toques is one of the tabs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I should just change it to winter hats. I like your idea the best, honestly.
Figure eight musky gear. Hold on, I gotta check it out. Let's see if
Yeah,
figure
just drop down and tab down the catalog and you
beanies
see.
and toques. Toques. Yep, never heard of that one. That's a first.
Now, if you go to Canada, that's what they all call them up there.
Huh. Okay. So I'm scrolling through your catalog right now. F8 tournament hats, beanies, and toques. Dry fit performance shirts, super soft cottons, hoodies and vests, shorts and sweats, buffs, bump boards, nets, and more. Kids gear. I am going to add in my 2 cents for maybe a couple products that you could maybe work on.
All right, let's hear it.
All right. High quality, affordable rain gear. I mean, that's a standard in everyone's boat, and that's,
It is.
besides Frable and the Gander, or I'm sorry, Cabela's and Bass Pro Shop models. And then what I would love to see is awesome figure eight boat shoes.
Boat shoes, yeah, that would be. Both of those have been suggested before, and I've actually looked into both of them. I tell you, I don't know which I would say is harder, but I'm going to go with the rain gear.
Yeah.
It's really hard to find, I think most guys would agree that just in general out there in the marketplace, a really good set of rain gear is hard to find.
And expensive.
One that doesn't leak at all. It's really hard to find. Yeah, like you said, it's very expensive. And I'm just a firm believer in not doing anything, halfway or even 80 or 90%. If I'm going to do it, it's going to be the best I can. I've looked at some different pieces, and we get a lot of samples and stuff to, test it, feel it, put our hands on it. And I just find a rain gear that I'm willing to stamp our name on, because everything I've tried, it's not there from a quality standpoint.
Well,
and the one that I did, it just wouldn't be affordable. It wouldn't make sense for me. I would have to price it so high to have any margin at all. That's a tough one, man. I'd still like to do it, but at this point, I'm having a hard time finding the right fit.
At least you thought about them, so you'll continue the hunt for the perfect rain gear. But I'm thinking shoes.
The shoes, that's a tough one too. Not so much on the quality. You get in the shoes, you've got so many different sizes.
Oh, okay.
Now, most guys, I say the average guy probably wears from maybe a 9 to a 12. Let's just say that's probably average. You might need to make them all the way from like a 6 to a 14. And then that just gets really expensive on our end.
Okay. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, sizes. Lots of different sizes. Again, that's another one. It wouldn't be very cheap. Or I won't use the word cheap, because nothing we really do is cheap. But to get what I would want, it just wouldn't make sense from a numbers point.
Okay. Well, at least you thought about it.
At least yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd like to do like something similar to maybe like a Croc shoe. It's waterproof and breathes pretty well.
Now with the
maybe one day.
Now with the figure eight brand, obviously it's apparel and nets and bump boards. Do you ever plan on expanding that into, I don't know, figure eight rods, figure eight lures, any side projects such as that? Has that ever crossed your mind?
Yeah, it has, and I've been approached by a couple of different companies and maybe partner with them on something like that, and that could definitely be options going down the road. far as baits go, the only thing we've really done bait-wise is Pond Fort Blades has tied some custom blades for us that, certain collars that he'll do just for figure eight, and we put them on the site, and that's done pretty well for us.
Okay.
That's another West Virginia-based company, and
that's
not
Eric, correct? Correct.
Yeah.
Eric.
Yep.
Okay. That's cool. So guys, if you're ever looking for, a custom pond fork, well, you post it up on the Facebook, be like, hey, we got them in, come get them while the supplies last.
Yeah, usually we do. We'll put them up, let people know they're in, and they've done really well. I mean, they move quick. Eric stays back up on orders anyhow.
That's a good thing.
Blades, yeah, it is. I mean, they're great. They're great blades, and they're built like a tank. They roll great, and just got all the good components of a solid bucktail.
With, like I had Jeff from Team Rhino on last week. Is it the same, like, warehouse situation that you have? Is it like, are all these clothes in like your basement and you just print orders and start sending them out?
Yeah, very similar situation. It's more not, I don't have a basement, but it's more like I would call it a small warehouse storage unit type deal. But yeah, I mean, we don't have, we're strictly 100% online e-commerce. We don't have a storefront anywhere. And just like Jeff, we package up everything. Amber and I pack it up by hand and ship it out. We always try our best to ship it within 24 hours of the order. And we still, 2 years later, we're still putting a handwritten note and a decal in every order we send out.
That's cool. I like that a lot. I really think that's just an easy way to say thank you to all the customers. That little handwritten note, little decal. There you go, guys.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it takes a little extra time, but it's definitely worth it. And people still message me today from time to time just to say thanks. Thanks for dropping a note. And people do appreciate it. I mean, there's not many companies doing stuff like that anymore.
No.
Jeff does.
Yes, he does.
Drop notes in every order.
What so far? What has been like your furthest delivery? Like, have you gotten anything from Europe at all yet, or?
Actually, we've done quite a bit to Europe.
Really?
I mean, nothing compared to what we do stateside, but
yeah.
I mean, over the last 2 years, I've sent out, I don't know, I would guess like couple dozen orders to Europe.
Now, that's
Canada. We ship lots to Canada. I mean, every week we ship to Canada.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's up there on the list as far as, like I told you earlier, our top states are Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Canada probably hits like top 6 or 7 probably.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Those Canadian guys order a good bit from us, and we appreciate their business too.
That's so cool. So, like I said earlier in the show, that I'm very ignorant, I should say, on the eastern musky scene. You fished out west, correct? Like, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois, those areas before?
The only place I fished out west, and I guess you could say, I don't know, what do people consider? I've definitely fished Minnesota. I've fished Lake Vermilion twice now, and I've fished Lake St. Clair. That's the furthest I've traveled to fish.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that place. I leave a piece of me there every time I go.
St. Clair?
Well, I love St. Clair too, but not Vermilion.
Yeah. Now with those, you've seen different techniques. How how are those techniques out east? Do you see similarities whatsoever, or I know Minnesota loves to chuck big stuff. Are
Um,
like big rubbers really big producers out east?
not like the Western guys or the St. Clair guys. I don't know what most people consider St. Clair. What, more central, I guess, north central, or is that still considered Midwest in the musky world? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's still considered Midwest, I believe.
West, so yeah, no, nothing like they throw up there. I mean, definitely different tactics. One thing I've learned going to Minnesota and going to Michigan, like you said, they're big on big baits, big rubber. And here on the east, we throw rubber, but generally not quite as big. We still do throw some big stuff, but we throw a lot of glide baits here.
Okay.
My impression is the last somewhat little I've been around the Midwest guys don't seem to throw a glide bait. It's not a go-to, I don't think. And here on the rivers, it's kind of a go-to for everybody. You know, it's different, completely different for sure. Current, most of the guys, river guys, you're not fishing in very deep water. Like my home water, most of the fish that you're coming out of 4 to say 8 feet of water.
Okay.
Like here, an 8 or 10 foot hole, that's considered a deep pocket in the river.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
But there's similar techniques to them in bucktails. We're big on bucktails here, and everywhere else I've fished, I see this. They're big on bucktails.
you can't go wrong with the
Definitely.
bucktail.
No, you never, ever, ever go wrong with bucktails. That's right.
No. So
I've got a buddy that's here in West Virginia, and no exaggeration, every time I fished with him, I'm going to guess an estimate of, I fished with a buddy Davenport. I'd say we've logged around 40 hours.
Mm-hmm.
39 of those 40, he's thrown a bucktail. Didn't matter if it was, we fished together in April, we fished in September, October, and one day I said, you ever throw much anything else? Just curious. I mean, he catches a lot of fish and a lot of good, and I'll never forget his answer. He said, yeah, occasionally I do, but he said, why would I take a bucktail off? He said, if you think about it, he said, there's probably been more muskie caught on bucktails in, the history of muskie fishing versus every other lure behind. And that's probably true.
Yes.
That's
It's got to be
true. And ever since then, I don't question his bucktail throwing after that. So that was a pretty good.
That's a good answer right there.
It is a good answer.
So
You never go wrong.
So with the difference of the baits and everything, do you see a difference in the color patterns out east?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like most of the guys here, it seems like everybody throws more natural, like lots of browns, light reds. We're trying to match suckers. That's probably the most dominant bait fish here, suckers. So lots of reds and browns and blacks.
Okay.
That's where I've seen in the West, sometimes they'll be throwing a lot more, some stuff with some brighter collars, some Cisco, some perch.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see the color pattern here as much.
Okay.
But they have so many more different bait fish, and you're going to get more collars, I think.
I never thought about that we actually have. Do we have like a lot more variety of bait fish out west than you guys out east?
Yeah, I think so. It seems seems to be the case to me. I mean, we're mostly, shad and suckers. That's like the two big bait fish here.
Okay. So, Brandon, it's coming down to the most important question of the night, and that
All
is
right.
you. What's your funniest boat launch story?
Man, were you put up to this?
No, this is just something I do every show. That's the most important question.
Oh, you do it every show.
Every show. Why, you got a good one?
I've got a pretty good one, but I'm sure you'll tell me I'm not the only one to do this, and that will make me feel a little better.
Well, it doesn't have to be like, it didn't have to happen to you. It could be something you witnessed or something your buddy did.
Man, nothing comes to mind right off the bat other than back in April, we were launching my boat, me and my brother and the guy I was just telling you about, the bucktail story.
Yeah.
Chris. He backs me down. He's backing my truck up for me, and I'm taking my boat off the trailer, and he backs up, hits the brakes, my boat slides out in the lake. I think it was April. It was still pretty cold here. Water temps are still starting to come up, and I'm glad he did this, and for whatever reason, so he takes off with the truck, and for some reason he stopped the truck. He hangs his head out the window, and he goes, "Hey, did you put the boat plugs in?" And just immediately, I knew I did.
Uh-oh.
And I'm back, and water's already coming up through the floor. So I motioned for him to back the trailer back down. He backed it up real quick. We were able to get it on the trailer in time. But had he went and parked the truck, that's what I said.
I think we've all been there and forgot the freaking plug.
I mean, it's kind of embarrassing to say for plugging in boat, but I did.
At least you guys caught it in time.
If he hadn't done that, and he said for some reason he said he was thinking about it, and he noticed I never put him in. And the way the parking lot's laid out, like, he was going to go into the parking spot, and I was about to put the boat in gear and go maybe like 200 yards up the lake to pick him up at this at a dock. Well, my boat would have never made it to the dock. I mean, we barely got it. I've got my jet has 2 boat plugs. I know a lot of boats just have one, but I've got 2. It's taking on a good water.
How long did it take to drain out the boat?
I'd say it took 5 or 6 minutes.
Damn, that's a lot of water.
Oh, it was a really bad deal.
That's too funny. It hasn't happened to me in a while, but now that I just said that, it's probably going to happen like next week.
But you have done it before, right?
I have, and we were night fishing, launched the boat, and we didn't realize the plug was out until I came back after parking the truck, and it was kind of like it was kind of sunk, So we had to winch back up and let it drain for a good 10 minutes. It was ridiculous how much water was in that boat.
That's a bad deal.
Yeah, but at least it was nighttime and there was no one else around, so no one saw it. But now everyone knows, so whatever.
Awesome, man.
Well, Brandon, thank you so much for coming on. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties and all that BS, but I just want to wish you congratulations, coming this far within 2 years. And, your first big tournament's coming up on the 30th. Guys, check that out. If there is still room available, go to figure8muskygear.com. Sign up, get out there, find a partner, and I don't know, I'll see you in Chicago then, Brandon.
Yeah, we'll see you in Chicago, and thanks again for having me. I'm sure we'll hook up January in Chicago, swing on by our booth, and
deal.
Amber will get you set up.
Perfect. I will. So, talk to you later, Brandon, and
All right.
hope the tournament goes well.
I appreciate that. You have a good one.
You too. Bye. So like I said earlier, guys, figure 8 musky fishing gear. Figure 8 musky gear. Yes, I'm sorry. Check it out. It's this 30th. So what, 19 days? Musky in the Mountain Tournament presented by Cabela's and Figure 8 musky gear. Pretty cool. He said 40 boats. Optimal number, I believe, is 50. He believes he might fill that. So register online. Go to the website. Figure that out. With that being said, I am sorry about the technical difficulties today. As stated earlier while I was waiting, Facebook did an update or something with their live video feed. I'm going to have to putz around with that and try to figure out the specs to try to get this going. I'm not a fan of the YouTube one. I'll keep you posted for next week, Monday. We should have a good guest. We always have a good guest. It's just, is this going to act up again? I'm going to have to dig in here. So, thanks for watching, guys. Putting up all the BS. I don't know. Stay tuned, and we'll see what happens. You'll probably see some random live feed from Musky Magnets. Don't pay any attention to it. It's just me testing stuff. So, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you next week.